So welcome everybody to the gathering. And as you know, we had you all had shared with me about the silent protest last week that was trying to take place outside the center, but due to social distancing concerns, that was changed to make it a virtual silent protest. And this is being led by the Congress Heights Outreach Group, leadership and team members and members in general, just kind of coming together to speak their mind about what's going on out there in the world. We got a lot of stuff happening with Black Lives Matter, and of course our ongoing issues with systemic racism in this country. And so the seniors represent the village, and the village's voice needs to be heard. So we have this session going on during the gathering where you all can share how you feel about what's going on. And a lot of you made posters. And as we mentioned, we were going to record this session just so we can have it to be able to post on YouTube and share with others through our social media venues. So we're all in agreement with that. Just say aye. Aye. Okay, and of course, you have the option to stop your video, to remove yourself from the session, etc. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. As I was mentioning, I don't really want to necessarily be running the session. This is happening during the gathering, and generally during the gathering, we get together, we watch things, different documentaries, and we have discussions about what's going on. So this is actually appropriate for the gathering session to talk about all the stuff that's happening. We all know there's been plenty of things been going on, but because we've all been kind of quarantined and it hasn't been safe for you all to go out necessarily, you haven't been able to maybe participate in a lot of things going on. And as we also know, a lot of young people are running with the mantle of what's going on with social injustice. So we definitely wanted to give you all a platform to be able to share this stuff. And as I was mentioned before, I had said I had never been on the Black Lives Matter website, and I found it interesting, and I wanted to just share I wanted to share something that I think she's in charge of direction, strategic direction of the organization. So someone had mentioned earlier that this movement actually became official in terms of Black Lives Matter back in, I think, 2014 with Michael White's killing. And I think that it kind of morphed from there, and they created a global platform eventually because they have multiple chapters around the country. But I wanted to just share this piece that I found on their website. It's only like a minute.
Just after in between the Trayvon Martin, where the
right.
watch person.
Zimmerman, right.
Because I actually, if you, on my Facebook page, you'll see a picture of me with Trayvon Martin's mother and Jordan Davis's father. Because we were
I remember you telling me about that.
We were all in Geneva, Switzerland, the same week that Michael Brown was killed. There was about 80 of us. The United States was being reviewed. There's a treaty, there's a committee to eliminate racial discrimination, which the U.S. has not ratified that treaty. At that time, at least one person of color was being killed by law enforcement every day. So this is not anything new, but activists have been involved in this for a very long time.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely nothing new. Let me play this real quick, and then we can go ahead and move on. I just want to share this. This is from. I'm so excited. Actually, can you all hear this? Let me come back.
No. In this country and other countries, I really, grew up looking at NAACP or the National Action Network as these two important staple Black organizations, but they never really spoke to my interests. I didn't feel like they were talking to my generation. And so Black Lives Matter, our global network, becomes this institution that is for a younger group of Black folks. And it is about contemporary issues. It's looking at criminalization and it's taking it head on. It's looking at law enforcement violence and it's taking it on. And I think that where I see Black Lives Matter going is building our chapters to have that local power, building the leadership of Black folks, not just here in this country, but around the globe, and seeing our work as part of a long legacy of folks who've been fighting for Black people's freedom for a very long time.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that about where things are headed with that. And here we go. Trying to use all this technology. We're doing this. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I do suggest you go on their website to see and read about how they came about organizing and why they organized. Is actually a lot more interesting than just simply Black Lives Matter, because they're definitely all inclusive. And when she mentioned about speaking to the voice of the younger generation, it's about all the different things going on with everything, sexuality, everything, and incorporate that into a total Black Lives Matter, all Black Lives Matter scenario. Okay, well, let's do this. Let me stop sharing the screen. All right. Okay, now we're back. Okay. So I also have found this couple interesting quotes. There we go. So this is actually an excerpt from actually a full prayer, but it says a prayer against racism and prejudice. Help us to not participate in any racial acts against our brothers, and sisters, clear our minds of all negative thoughts, free them of any racial injustice that may cause them bondage, break every chain, diminish all separations of skin color in our land, help us to live in peace and harmony with one another, remind us that we are all created equally and we are all children of your mighty kingdom.
Nice.
So before we start, do you all want to read off names or you want to do that at the end? Because I actually have a list of names, and we know it's not a comprehensive list because it's been going on for years and years and years and years. But I do have a list of names. But do you want to just go ahead and start by sharing some of your posters and your feelings? And what I want to do is highlight each one of you as we go through. If you don't have a poster, you may have something you want to say that we can go ahead and you can still go ahead and share. That's what you want to do.
Do we have a time limit, Mr. Ritchie?
You know what? The gathering is actually 11:30 to 12:30, but we have till 1.
For each individual to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, a couple minutes. It's about 24 of you all on here. So, I mean, you can take a couple of minutes and say how you feel. I mean, some people will be longer than others. Some people, we'll work it out. We'll do the 3-minute Baptist thing. How about that?
I'll see me do this.
3
You hear the Sandman come out. You hear the Sandman come out.
3 minutes.
Oh yeah, the Sandman.
Our iconic Sandman from the Apollo. All right. So let's. I'm gonna go in order as is on my screen. Well, actually, Miss Beverly, where you at?
Right here.
Let's start with you, Miss Beverly, because you actually head up the Congress Heights Outreach Group, the C.O.G group, and there's other people assisting with this whole scenario, what we're doing. But I want to get and give you opportunity to share first.
Okay.
Highlights on you.
This is my poster. Can you see it?
You got to come up a little bit more. You know what? Yeah, there you go. Just bring the top forward a little bit. The top part of it forward. There we go.
There you go.
Black lives will always matter. We have been here before. We forgive, but we don't forget.
That's nice. It was good.
Angela Davis?
The picture didn't say who it was.
Yeah, it looks like Angela Davis.
Angela
Yeah.
Davis.
I just remember the hair looks like mine used to look. And it just seems like we right back into 1960 or something,
Yeah.
Things just go around in cycles. Nothing ever changed. People never learn anything. And we're never respected for what we want, what we deserve.
You know what? As you speak about 1960s, there's a quote from Ella Baker, who was an activist in 1964. And she said, until the killing of Black men, Black mothers' sons becomes as important to the rest of the country as the killing of a white mother's son, we who believe in cannot rest until it happens. Texted at 64. Plus, we know it's more than just Black women's sons, it's also daughters.
I had another one, but it's really too big for me to hold up. I emailed it to you if you ever get a chance to look at it. I sent it to you and Regina.
Okay, let me see if I can find that. I can post it. I know I saw Miss Ethel's posted. That's really nice.
Anna Baker is the dean of the SCLC. She was the person that shepherded all of those young people like John Lewis. He was when he was young at that time. And in fact, I think she's from Illinois.
Okay.
She became a state legislator later.
Okay. Let me share your other. I'm gonna go ahead and share Miss Beverly's other poster because I did pull it up.
Yeah, because I missed the first.
Can everyone see that?
Well, that was really nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's nice.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Like that.
It's just that we got film now. We got cell phones. So before things would happen, and there'd be no witnesses or anything. With cell phones, the whole thing has
That
changed.
was nice, Bev.
Yes, I know. I love it.
The bottom on the far side, on
Yeah,
the right, it might be your left. What did it say?
I couldn't.
I have to go get the poster myself.
It says so on the bottom it says yes, seniors' voices matter too.
Yeah,
And then
Right.
on the side.
on the side it said we forgive but we don't forget because Black Lives Matter. Let me just show it real quick again so you can see it. You see it?
Yeah, we couldn't get
Yeah,
that.
we couldn't read the one on.
We don't forget. Oh, that's what it said.
Yeah, senior voices matter too.
Nice, very nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
As we, well, it was basically the same thing I had on the other one.
Very, very nice.
All right, well let me go ahead and Miss Carolyn, are you on here still? Miss Carolyn? With the C for the first initial of the last name.
Crank.
Hold on, Regina, hold on. We're gonna say the first initial of the last name only.
Oh, well, you have more than one Carolyn.
I know, I said Carolyn with the first initial C. So I don't see, you're on mute, so I'm gonna ask you to unmute and see if you're on here. Okay, well, let me go ahead and go back to the top of the gallery and just do it from there. Okay, so Miss Shirley, you're actually on my first block.
Oh, you do? I don't have a poster. All I have is this right here.
It's okay.
And what is that?
Black Lives Matter. This is a black queen with her braids and things all down her face.
Very good.
That speaks a lot to his history.
African queen, like me.
Like you.
What does your shirt say?
Oh, this says she has fire in her soul and grace in her heart. That's me.
Very good.
Ta-da!
You know, it's important when you talk about history too, because a lot of times, I mean, we all know a lot of us grew up with a lack of knowledge of Black history due to the way this educational system was set up. You had to kind of seek it out yourself, or do research. So hopefully that'll continue to improve. I think there seems to be a little gap. I'd say that with my children, they didn't receive as much as I may have been into it and learned about it. So push that. Yeah, thank you. All right, so we have Miss Maddie on the next block.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Richie. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Maddie.
Hey.
We want to see your poster too.
Okay, what we did, these posters represent not only me, but Spring Grimes. She did the artwork and I did most of the quotes. And we was preparing the whole signs for 3 people. So we wanted to include Miss Walker, Gloria Walker also. And what we did a front and a back. So you giving me 2 minutes, right? So I have several posters.
Miss Maddie, they're a little bit too close.
It's in my house.
Oh, yeah. I'm back a little bit.
Can you get it?
Yes.
Gotta hold it back. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Maddie.
That reminds us, whoever comes to Washington, D.C., they claim they can speak on our behalf, but they don't live here, and etc.
Yeah.
Yes,
And-
thanks, Maddie.
Sound out.
Found out
Stop
we
the- stop
found
the
out,
vi-
stop the violence, what we're dealing with in Ward 8.
That's
If-
right.
If you see something, say something, vote, complete your senses, and don't just stand there, do something.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, and look here.
Right.
You'll say love your neighbor in there.
Huh?
If
You'll say love your
Hey, look, y'all take notice at this. This is my favorite. This representative said, can you read it?
Wait, you gotta come
Back up.
Where's
come
Maddie?
back. There you go.
Wherever you go, Ward 8 will be here.
Ward 8 will be.
All right now.
I like that.
We ain't going nowhere.
And then we did one for agape.
Agape love.
I don't know how much you can.
The highest form of love and charity, the love of God for man and of man for God.
Now this is my last one. This is my last one. I'm on.
That was good.
Because I believe this. It said, I can't believe what you say because I see what you do. James Baldwin.
All right now.
Right. Okay. Oh, but my 2 minutes is up. But I did put them on my Facebook. So my family in South Carolina and the other friends here who checked my Facebook out up here. I said, let you know, we were going to be represented in person, but we had to kind of pull back.
Right.
But we'll keep them in case if we do something again later.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
nice, Maddie.
That's very nice.
Thank you, Mr. Ritchie, for your vision. You always tell us to speak up and speak out and let people know that we are over here. Something positive. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thanks, Rudy.
All right, so let's see. We have Ms. Joyce up next. Ms. Joyce, spotlight's on you. Did you want to share something? Oh, you're not. You're on mute, Miss Joyce. You're on mute. Let me go back so I can ask you to unmute yourself.
Uh-oh, she's disappearing.
Yeah, it looks like it slid away. Ms. Joyce, you're on mute. Okay, I'm gonna come back to you, Mr. Richard and Ms. Martha.
Oh, okay. Hey!
There you go. Dance instructor extraordinaire.
Yeah, we got a couple of signs here too. My daughter helped us come up with get this sign for us. And this
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Ah, that's nice.
That's nice.
Real nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
I
Uh-huh.
like that
the other
too.
one we have is Black Lives Matter and the chains and the ball and the chain.
Oh, Martha, that's great.
That's nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
You know, at the end of this, I'm gonna ask you all to hold up your sign so I can take a picture that way because I'm right now I can't stop.
Okay.
Justice for all. That says it all.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's
Good job.
nice, Richard.
I like the shirt, Ms. Martha.
I just wanted to say, I just want to say basically, the movement has started. Fortunately for us now, the young people are out there.
Yes.
It had to be, had to come up to, eventually had to get to the point whereby the young folks had to get involved.
Yes.
I think they're doing a fantastic job of just
Yeah.
doing that, And the main thing about it is that I love the fact that DC is so more or less advanced
Yes.
in that aspect because everything's happening here. And I love the fact that our mayor says, look, you're going to pay attention to us.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Show some
Right.
respect for us, those of us in DC.
Yes.
Even though we're still the majority,
Yeah.
they still think that we're such a minority here in Washington.
Absolutely. Mhm. That's right.
Mhm.
Good, Richard.
Thank you, sir.
Well said.
Yes.
Ms. Martha, did you want to share
Yes.
anything? Or, I know the 201. Did you want to share anything, Ms. Martha?
I'm good. I'm glad the young people are taking notice too.
Me too.
Right. Right.
Sorry, but it's a wake-up call, another wake-up call.
That's what I was telling people. They think that just because think it's gonna stop like all the other times, but I think these young people got it by the handle. They're not gonna let this stop.
Right. Prayerfully, it won't
Let me, I'm sorry, let me ask you to make sure you mute yourself if you're having a conversation outside of the session. Okay, thanks. All right, so where's my gallery? Let me go back over here. So Miss Joyce, are you able to unmute yet? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Let me try to call her.
yeah, I'm gonna get ahead and move on to the next person. So Miss Ingrid, you're up next. Did you want to show a poster or share something? Okay, I think you're on mute also, so just unmute yourself. Feel free to unmute yourselves, folks. It's just that I just want to make sure we don't have background noise. There you go, Miss Ingrid.
Okay, I've got this. Black Lives Matter, Seniors Lives Matter, and homeless too.
All right.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks about the homeless sometimes.
Good.
You can't forget about the homeless, especially
No.
happening.
Yes.
People at a disadvantage, especially during like this whole COVID-19, and you know a lot of our folks are homeless, and so that is a big issue.
And while you're at it, while you're at the homeless conversation, we served our 1,000th lunch last Saturday to the homeless.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Between March and now, we did our 1,000th last Saturday at the shelter on D
Who's
Street.
we? Who's we, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
No, Ms.
Okay,
Ingrid, who's we? If you don't mind.
Her daughter.
Who's we? You said we serve.
Oh, I am a daughter, and we got a lot. Well, we have a lot of helpers now and donations now too. We got a lot of help since we mentioned it.
Okay.
So it's a big deal now.
Okay. So folks, just take note that we have our seniors leading the village to try and help out there, feeding the homeless.
Yes.
Ingrid's doing work with her daughter and helping to feed homeless people.
It's the most thankful job I think I ever did in my life.
Oh.
They are so thankful. They make you cry sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And also to mention, that's the same, again, the Common Sites Outreach Group was doing feeding, providing meals to the homeless at the 801 shelter for the men over there before this pandemic started. So that work is being done out there by the seniors.
Yeah, we're getting everything. We're getting everything they need: toiletries, masks, J. Crew clothes. They get lots of things. They get a lot of nice things. But my grandson did this one. Kids' lives matter.
Definitely.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah.
You know what? You know what's so sad for me? I have a 22-year-old grandson. He has a lot of hair, not dreadlocks. I told him one day, you gotta cut this hair. He said, why? I said, the police don't like it. He said, what do you mean the police don't like it? This is my hair. I said, but cut it. 3 days later, he came home with a cut. I actually cried to know that, you know, he had to cut his hair because the police don't like it.
They don't like it. They don't.
So I said, we gotta do what we gotta do to save them.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that the hair.
It is, for real.
Yeah, so
as y'all know, I have them too.
You got a lot of gray hair in there, Mr. Richie.
Yours is gray and you're
But I understand what she's saying, because I have you all know my oldest son has locks, and I mean, it just, you know, honestly, whether it's locks or not, I mean, I'm always concerned with them. Even my youngest is about to turn 15, because you know, it's just the way people view our young men and women. So
right.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for me.
Thank you, Ms. Ingrid. We go on to, let's see what's up next. We have and staff. I don't mean to skip over you. I'm gonna go through the members.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ms. Linda.
Here.
I see your sign, Regina.
Oh, you have to take yourself off mute, Ms. Linda.
There's Linda.
Linda.
You're still on mute. You're still on mute.
You're on mute yourself.
There you go.
She's off.
I didn't do a poster, but I just wore my shirt. Black lives do matter.
Right.
Yeah, they do.
Human rights. I just want to say, like James Brown say, I'm Black and I'm proud.
All right.
Right.
Your shirt actually has the names of people on it, right? Doesn't your shirt have those, I guess in between the letters, are those the names of everyone? Different people? And I know it's not everyone, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, got them written
Yeah.
on the
So
letter.
I see Till, T-I-L-L.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that shirt. I like
Unfortunately,
that.
so many.
Yeah, good eyes, Karen.
Yeah,
Good eyes.
I have
Alright.
one like that.
And let's see who we have up next.
Oh.
It's Angie. There you go. I see the fist up. You know what? And I'm sorry. I think my screen keeps shifting, so the order may have just changed. Let me just make sure. Okay, Ms. Angie. Yeah, you're up next, Ms. Angie. Oh, you don't remember you're on mute, so you have to take yourself off.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes, yes.
Yes, indeed.
Unapologetic.
Apologize.
Wow, yes.
Granddaughter did this poster for me.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
But I just want to say that, yes, Black Lives Matter. This movement is so important. And I'm just so happy to be able to see our young people like step up and really getting into the movement, because it is important. And if they don't do it, it's not going to get done. So just happy to be a part of this movement and a part of this time to see we're trying to continue to move forward, pushing forward. It's a lot of work to be done, but I'm just proud. I feel very proud right now to know that a lot of our younger folks are just kind of stepping up. So anyway, all I got to say.
Thank you, Ms. Angie.
Great. Nice. Good, Angie.
An iconic fist. That's an iconic fist right there.
Yes, I like that fist.
I do too.
You got Miss Judy. You're up next. Spotlight's on you.
Okay. I don't have a poster or anything, but I'm glad to see the young people taking a stand for us when we're not, because a lot of us are not able to get out and march. So I'm very happy about that. And I think Black lives do matter, but I think feelings also matter too. And I think we as Blacks should recognize that we should know how to treat one another, because it starts with us too. We should treat each other like we, in other words, we have feelings, so feelings matter also. So we should treat others like we want to be treated. It starts with us.
Good.
So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Judy, Miss Judy, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
We have Miss Lynn. You on deck. Miss Lynn, you're on deck. All right. I like the creativity.
Good morning, everybody. I hope that you can read this. To me, it looks backwards. Can you read this okay?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave that up there while I talk. And what I would like to say is what my sign says. Blacks, stop killing Blacks. All lives matter. Black lives matter. But nobody's talking about the Black people that's killing each other. So we got to start in our own homes. And talk to our young people that we know that's out here and let them know that they are killing each other, and they don't own any property, they don't own any stores, they don't own any turf to be fighting over. So why are they out here killing each other? They need to stop killing each other. And maybe the word will reverberate from Washington, D.C. to Atlanta, Georgia, to Chicago, to Philadelphia, to New York, all across the country, because it's happening and nobody is talking about it.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
And we actually had some conversation between here and there about that whole issue, and because and y'all know I'm gonna include a little something here, just a little tiny. So I completely, we all on the same page that we need to stop having the internal fighting and internal killing going on. Definitely. But I also want to say with a caveat, with people who are watching this and people who may not be in our community, that also keep in mind the impacts that have happened over the years and the effect on our mental psyche and in our family structure and everything else that has brought us to this point of doing things like that make no sense whatsoever, because these are residual impacts of slavery, oppression, poverty, all the not that as an excuse, because we need to at some point make a choice, a better choice. But some people don't have the wherewithal or the ability to make those proper choices, unfortunately, because I think due to just all these different factors, and again, the impact on their psyche, like people are screwed up, our families are screwed up, and there's a lot of dysfunction. And so I always mention that some of us have been able to move away from it, fortunately, in other ways, but some people still in the heart of it and still dealing with it in different ways.
Yes.
So, but I agree, we have to stop it. We got to find a way to cut all that out, and I think it's definitely going to be a part of getting more assistance with mental health and exposure and broadening people's horizons so they can see something different. And you always know I say I'm a product of a lot of stuff, and I survived, and I'm thankful because I was blessed, and a lot of people who survived that. But we got to reach back, like we always know, reach back in. The village goes back in to help others that aren't there yet. Yeah, we got to still have that message, like it's got to stop, and it's got to stop. But again, that's not a reason for other people to say you're doing it to yourself, so we're gonna do it too, or we don't care if you don't care. That's not us telling you it's okay to say that. We're just saying like, yeah, we need to get it together internally as well. So, okay, I'm off my soapbox. Y'all know that's
good, Mr.
It's hard to watch us hurt each other and people getting killed, and we know, like, yo, stop this craziness. But it's so much deeper than just that, and that's the thing.
It is.
Right. So much deeper. And we
that could be a separate gathering.
Yes.
All along. I'm holding back real strong. We don't have control of our courts. We don't have control of our police. Actually, we are disenfranchised. We don't have state representation that are here.
But we can still talk to our young people in our homes.
Yes.
Exactly.
So everybody got to teach one.
Right.
And if they don't hear someone telling them that this is nonsense and it's got to stop, they feel like Mr. Richard just said, oh, it's okay, you doing it, I can do it too. We got to talk. We got to talk to these young people because this is craziness. They're committing genocide themselves.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they're the tool. They're the tool of the oppressor, and they're buying right on into it.
Right.
They kill off young kids in the process. Kids under 10 years of age are getting killed in the process of their random foolishness.
I hear you, Lynette. I'm right there with you.
I think, all of us on the same page.
I'm holding back. We only
Excuse me.
Well, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
But you know what?
Good job.
This is a start because, not start, but this is a part of it. Again, the seniors in the community raising their voices and making themselves heard because seniors led the village all the time and did teach the young people, but there's been a disconnect over the years for whatever different reasons we know. But that's why that needs to come back together so that impact can be had on young people because there's plenty of young people also doing great things. So
yes, it is.
Yes, thank you.
Dysfunction out of it. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Were you getting ready to say something?
But you got to know how you're talking to them too. You can't talk to them how you want. You got to talk to them nicely too.
Of course. Respect.
You got to know yes, that works a lot. It works.
Respect.
Yeah, it's a way to approach it, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Lynn. We're going to go on to Ms. Doris. She's up next. Let's go ahead and put the spotlight on you. Oh, yes. Oh, come back a little bit.
Move back.
Yeah, and come up. Back it up.
Back it up.
Back it up. Back it up.
Back it up, Ms. Dawes.
All right, there you go. There you go.
Black
You
Lives
might need to
Matter.
help us read it, though. You say Black
Say
Lives
their
Matter.
names.
I said Black Lives Matter, say their name, Emmett, Trayvon, George, Brianna, and so forth. And injustices, we got to fight injustices in healthcare, environmental, housing, racism.
Yes.
And we need love and peace as well. I too appreciate the young people as they protest, but I do hope that this protesting will lead to some policy making, because we can protest in the street and sometimes it just goes away, and we never get any policies. And that's one thing I truly hope that we can get.
You know what's interesting, and we're seeing things happening here and there with different jurisdictions, and even internationally, because I was looking at something, and I want to say it's Canada, and they were talking about how they appointed I think I may be saying it wrong, but I think she was maybe she's of Grenadian descent, but she lives in Canada. She was appointed to this new commission they're doing to fight systemic racism. So there's like pockets of different things happening, not just in this country, but all over. But you're right, at the end of the day, all this needs to lead to something really strong that is put in place to make the changes with laws and different things that are on the books. So yeah, that's good stuff.
I read that too, Mr. Richie.
You did? Okay. Yeah, this stuff's happening here and there. Just like, right, we need a lot more of it, a lot more frequent, and a lot more momentum with it. Like it can't lose momentum.
White supremacy has come to the forefront. A lot of things, and a lot of allies and white people, they really didn't realize. They thought, well, slavery was over with, the civil rights is over with. They don't realize on a everyday basis we deal with systemic racism. Even if we live in a majority Black neighborhood, we face systemic racism every single day.
Every day, every day.
Whether it's we're dying more of COVID, we're the ones that are having a lot of things that happen to us. We're not getting the loans and the things, and all of it is part of systemic racism.
And just here in Washington, D.C., the Blacks are dying more than any whites or any other race. It's Blacks. It's only like 578 dead, but more than a third of those are Blacks.
Yeah, one out of three.
What? Go ahead, Mr.
Say that it's from COVID and not from shooting. We have more people dying because we have more underlying health conditions because we don't have, even though we have 95% of our people are covered by insurance.
Right.
Insurance providers are not equally distributed where they're needed. I mean, our Dr. Fitzpatrick is one doctor who lives in our community, but we don't have doctors and dentists that live in our communities. We don't have primary care places, so therefore we're more subject. We don't have a grocery store. We only got one for almost 80,000 people.
Right.
So
and you know what?
Those are the things that contribute. Those are systemic racism that it's going to take more than just marches to come about. People have to come together economically as well. Stop buying the expensive shoes and stuff.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I'm talking
Right.
about. Yeah. And all of these other things, because that's every day. Every day you're facing racism. You get up in the morning, I'm Black every single day. And every single day I can point to at least 3 things that impact me. It's because of the systemic racism.
Yeah, and you make, I mean, I'm glad you brought up that whole point because
very well said.
Doris put that healthcare and all these things. I mean, that's where that's a big part of that underlying situation where you don't have proper diet and access to good diet to take care of yourself properly, which diminishes your health, which leads to all these other things. That's a great point.
We don't have recreation. If you think about it, you don't have recreation. We don't have recreation here. Where is there places for? There's no dance hall for young people. There's no movie theater. I mean, you have parks and recreation, but you don't have things that you can do things normally. I don't say that we don't have anything. We got the tennis learning center, we got the pools and the parks, but even that pool at Berry Farms, it's not open every day like the pools in Northwest.
So, Miss Yvonne, because I love everything you're saying. Because we're gonna get to you, and that way you can even expound upon it even more because you're making great points. No, not that. I just want to make sure we go through everybody and then come back around because you're making great points and all that stuff is extremely valid.
Yeah, we could have another gathering about that.
Right. Honestly, right. This is 2 hours or hour and a half is definitely not enough time for this type of thing. There's so much to talk about and discuss and share. And you're right. It's never enough time. That's sort of like the 28 days for Black History.
Right.
Let me go ahead and move on, Miss Juanita.
And you're Black every day.
Right. Miss Juanita, your spotlight's on.
Oh, this is my poster.
It's Black Lives. Can you see
Okay.
it? Look,
That's right.
is it up right?
Okay.
It says
We can see it.
Black Lives Matter. Then the initials is I Can't Breathe.
Oh, okay.
And my thing I saw on YouTube, this they're trying to teach the little kindergartens who they are and that they are a Black American. They're not the N-word and all that. So that's what I just picked up on the other day on YouTube. And
That's good
I
stuff.
hope
And
they keep the good work up as teaching the younger kids from like they're starting now from kindergarten on. So that's good. That's
and that ICB thing is not just George Floyd. That's not the first time that was heard.
No.
Right.
No, I know.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Juanita. Let me see.
The tape that she's going through.
Did you stop the video?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's still going on. Miss Spring. Oh, I need to change your thing real quick. Try to make sure we have just everybody's first initial, their last name. Okay. Spotlight's on you.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, Miss Maddie
The
can't
artwork. Oh my gosh, nice artwork in the back.
love color. Yeah, that's why Miss Maddie came to my house. She 50 poster boards and says, do something, because this matters and we got to do it. So she gave me a few hours, and every few hours she would come down here, and I don't know, I was at it all day long. I just got enthralled with what I was doing. And I've watched the protests like everyone else, wondering how did we get here? Who dropped the ball and let 1968 happen again? I think a lot of what you hear on a regular basis and what you do on a regular basis creates the mindset. And I think about the music of disrespect that's been funneling through our communities for years.
Yeah.
You know, long as you got a beat, it could say anything.
Right.
And I remember when my son was growing up, I used to sing the lyrics to some of those things he said was so good. And he would say, you can't say that. I said, but you're listening to it. Why can't I say it? I'm singing what they say. And it gave them an awareness of it just wasn't just some beat that was sounding good. So knowing that I can't get out there and protest like the young folks, I thought about what I could do. And what I want to do is to get in touch with, oh my gosh, brain fart, excuse me.
That's okay.
That's interesting how you turned that.
I think everybody should be a member of an organization that helps us fight. And what is the one that the traditional, I can't even think.
NAACP, you mean?
Who isn't a member of the NAACP? And everybody should be. Everybody should be. So I want to start a campaign to get people to rejoin the NAACP because we need them more than anything right now. We've lost a lot of our stand-up Black leaders, and new ones are being recreated. And they need to be supported. Somebody needs to get them out of jail when they're falsely arrested, to help them with their healing processes if they're hurt in these protests. So that's my thought, or one of my many thoughts on this matter, because Black lives do matter, all lives matter, and kindness is the way.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And you know what's interesting? You had mentioned the thing with NAACP, and I feel like when I was coming up, I was a part of that. Still, the NAACP was really a strong, organization. And then as I got older, I saw it kind of shift. Where, of course, it wasn't just about Black lives at that point, because they kind of shifted, embracing more and more. And I think what the young lady from BLM was saying when I was listening or reading their stuff is that, well, actually, it was on there about them or why they started. It seems like they're feeling like a lot of young people don't feel connected to the NAACP and other organizations because it doesn't speak to what they're dealing with as young Black folks coming up now and the different dynamics involved with that. And I think that's what where BLM kind of started moving in that direction to capture that. So yeah, and maybe we also need to have some type of bridge or some type of connection to make sure it all kind of works together, because it should all work together for the same cause. So yeah, it's different. I think that whole thing about being a part of organizations is important to help support that work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, folks. Thank you, Ms. Spring. So let me see who we have up next. Oh, there we go. It's Ms. Yvonne in the house. Here we go.
All right. I've been involved with this for many, many decades. And what I wanted to say was that in a quick time to draw attention that half the people who have been killed, half those Black people that killed, Black and some women, are people with disabilities. And so that's not taken into account that is there. And some of them are non-binary people who are like the trans brothers and sisters and children. And you know why this is happening? This is happening because the white supremacy is happening because we have people policing our communities who are afraid of us. There's no other reason to explain why somebody in a seatbelt is shot. It's because we have people policing, we're getting people that are coming from the military, that are militarized, and we have made law enforcement to be a bad thing. So we don't have people from our own communities coming and being part of the police department. There's a lack of transparency. The training that the police get, as long as they follow their training, they're not charged. So laws have to be changed. It's not just that, you know, we see this happening, it play out time and time again, whether it's Freddie Gray, whether that's a woman, Sandra Bland, because we always think of terms of it being guys, but they're women. There's a woman in Fairfax County who in custody was shot to death. So we have to step up and say all the organizations, and this is what I've made a commitment to with all the organizations that I've been involved, is to examine policies, procedures, and customs for racism. Even if you're a organization is primarily a Black organization, or if you, this is why we have to be a part of other organizations to put them on the carpet. And people are looking at that now to say, why? Because we are not in control. We are going to be the majority. We are going to be the majority in this country. And we have to make sure that we're treated with the respect that our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents who've died for this country, even though the country has not respected us. Well, that's basically what I was going to say, is that we have to step up our game. Everybody can't be out in the street, but you can give money, you can give time, you can make sure your organization is not a racist. Even Black organizations can be racist because they turn to the white people. I always say, I'm always wary of people that are in awe of white people. And I'm not being racist or anything like that. It's just that sometimes the culture is, we can be more white supremacists than the supremacists. Thank you, Mr. Ritchie.
And I just want to say what you said, that you're right. The policies, the police said they're following their guidelines, and we got to look to see what their guidelines are, because right now they are keeping that away from us. They won't share with us what their policies and rules are for when they train the police officers. So you are so right about that. And in addition to that, we need to get rid of that Voting Rights Act. We don't need a special act. And we need NAACP and people to help us change these laws and policies. That's how we're going to break this racism down. We don't need a special Voting Rights Act. Nobody else has it.
I disagree with that, but that's another conversation.
I agree.
We need the Voting Rights Act. We need the Voting Rights Act.
No.
That's another class.
To take our vote away from us by all different kinds of means. But the policies, we do know what the policies are. And the NAACP, which I do say, they have a little booklet. It's called 411. And it's
another conversation. That's another time for
everybody should give to their children on how to interact with the police.
So,
okay, Mr. Richard, let's go.
Mr. Ritchie, stop them.
Listen, all this conversation is good stuff, because honestly, I kind of get, if I'm correct, Ms. Lynn, I think you're kind of saying it's unfortunate that we have to have a special Voting Rights Act, where it should be.
Exactly.
Right. So I get what she's saying, but I also understand, Ms. Yvonne, like we need it in place to help us. Right. But it's unfortunate that we have to be in that place to have that.
But we are American citizens, and the Constitution, and this is another day, but the Constitution provides for us as well. So we need to change the Constitution. Constitution's too old. It doesn't fit to what's going on today.
All right.
Right, Ms. Lynn.
It's start with taxation without representation. We need to go that far too. We not being represented in Congress. Taxation without representation. We need to deal with that too.
Yeah, we don't control the courts or anything.
This sounds like the gathering too. We're gonna hold. No, seriously, we need to do this again because it's a lot of stuff we need.
Yes.
So let me move on to Miss Ali. Miss Ali, spotlight's on you. Miss Ali, can you hear us? Okay.
Yes. There you go. I agree with everybody because last year this time I was out at Anacostia Park. I don't know if you can't see this little button.
Yeah, a little bit. We can see a little bit. Yeah, not your.
I supported my kids when they marched for they were discriminating against your locks and your afro on your job, and they would take your position away from you on your job, and they were allowed to do that. So I just want my kids to know that I'm behind them 100%. Seniors, we might be old, and we might have to stay in because of the high risk, but we are behind them 100%.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we got their back. Yeah. We got good advice because we've been there and done that. And we know where it's at, and we know we can help them. Yeah. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
Richard?
Miss Ali, can you duck a little bit? I just want to see your whole poster. Seniors are the village leaders. We are stepping up to lead the village. I like the way you did that.
All right, that's nice.
I wrote like that too. That's cool.
May I say something?
Stepping up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just see what the rest of the poster said. What's that back piece say? The star. I mean Miss Ali. What's that say in the box?
It says the evidence cannot be denied of the insufficient of your Black lives.
Okay.
All right now.
Someone else said they wanted to say something just now. I'm sorry.
Just a moment. No, go ahead.
No, but who wanted to say something? Let me just make sure you heard. I can't tell who's saying that.
I wanted to say that I don't know if many people are aware that
Miss Spring.
That the Supreme Court passed that we could be discriminated against because of our locks in the employment place. It was taken to the Supreme Court a few years ago, and they allowed us to be discriminated on based on that.
I thought that changed. I thought there was recently
this year. I may not be aware, but please do tell me if it has.
We were just protesting down at Anacostia Park. We marched down there to Anacostia Park last year.
Wow.
Yeah, because I thought they had changed I thought they changed some.
They did.
No, the Supreme Court
they had changed it too. Yeah, they did. I don't know if they changed it back or not, but they had.
Yeah. She's right.
Okay. So let me go ahead and move on to Ms. Janet. Spotlight's on you. There we go. Black Lives Matter. Also, you might need to hold it up, the top part, bring it up, and then move it forward. Can you hear us, Ms. Janet? Oh, you're on mute, Ms. Janet. Ms. Janet, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, that's where I was. My family's in here talking to me.
Oh, there you go. I like that. We made
Yeah. It's nice. With Chocolate City. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You may forgive, but never forget.
What's that thing at the bottom?
Yeah, but Chocolate City. You go, girl.
So if you see them around the city, he did those and he's putting them around.
Oh, good.
Very good.
Did you do that artwork? Did you do the Fear of the Chocolate City artwork?
No, my son did.
Okay. 'Cause I see
Hey,
that
that's neat.
That's good, Janice. That's really good.
That's nice.
Real nice.
My son says everything I want to say.
All right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Janet.
Okay.
That's good.
Nice, Janet.
Very good.
I like that.
Hey,
Let's
Miss-
hear of
Miss
a Chocolate City again, because remember it used to be known as that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It might have been the reason why I came down here. They said, hey, look, I turn around, make sure my mic right here. Hey, honey. Okay, so we have Ms. Sterling up next, and Ms. Sterling, so I'm going to spotlight the device that has your picture on it. Because I know you had two devices on there, so let me just do that. And I guess you'll speak through the other one, right?
I just want to say good afternoon. I want to say thank you to this group. Carl, thank you very much. I want to say thank you to the staff. And I don't have a poster. I'm enjoying every moment. I'm glued to this like I was for anything with the royal family. This is good, but we have to do it again. And I've heard some people say that all lives matter. That's true. But I think what we're saying right now include us in that Black lives matter. And it's good what our young people are doing. And I also want to say it's good what everyone is doing. You know, we have other nations or nationalities?
Yeah, they're all over the globe.
Yeah, all over. That's true.
All ages. And one thing that with me, a lot of times when I'm driving, my mind goes to how a man is stopped. For example, I don't do it that often, but I think I've done it once. Run a caution light, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things like that. My mind goes back, ooh, if that had been a Black male, they would have been stopped. And that's good what everyone has said, and we want to not just look at how the police are treating us, but we want to look at how everyone is treating us as far as our health, education, and recreation. And 2 weeks ago, we had a non-Black speaker, and she said, "You people," and that pierced me. That pierced me just as much as the N-word, and I kept saying I was going to call her. I haven't. I'm going to do that today, because I think the things they say to us is about holding back. That's not the correct way to say it, but like somebody, you know, that's one thing we should speak up, speak out. So I'm going to do that today. And another thing that we have been saying, when we are talking, we need to have our voices at hearings. Even if you don't speak, you can write it. And even if you don't write it, you can be supported by being. And I just want to say thank you, Carl. Thank you, staff. That's it.
Hey, Ms. Sterling. And
Can we see your shirt?
Yeah, I was going to say, right.
That's a pretty shirt.
The shirt says a lot.
I like that shirt.
Thank you.
It's nice.
Excuse me, Mr. Ritchie.
Yes.
I didn't want to bring this up, but foreigners' lives, immigrants' lives matter too, because we got it from the whites, we got it from our own Black people, and it's so close. You even in the senior center, you get it.
Yeah,
I just don't bother with it anymore. But it's right. Immigrants' lives matters too. You all got to remember this.
Yeah, I think Ms. Ingrid makes a good point, because I think again, with me being kind of both scenarios with Black America and Island Black and stuff, I noticed it growing up, the disparity and the difference, and also the tension between the two.
You done?
That is, at the end of the day, people who are racist, make sure you mute your lines. Make sure you mute your lines.
Static.
You might need to mute the background noise. But yeah, just people who are racist don't see where you're from. They just see what you look like. So right, they don't know if you're from this country, that country. They just see a black person, you know, who they have something against or whatever. So yeah, you make a good point because that does need to be known. And like you said, internally, we do need to cut back and get rid of that internal, I guess, internal racism maybe sometimes, and how we look at each other from different parts of the world. So we're all dealing with the same issue. So thank you for that. And
they got to have more respect for us.
Yeah. And Sterling, are you still speaking? Because we can't hear you. You gotta take yourself off mute. Take yourself off mute. Miss Sterling, take yourself off mute. Yeah. It was like a puppet show.
Going for it. She's going for it.
There you go.
That's cute. She's still on mute. You're still on mute.
Still on mute. No, I'm not.
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, I was just saying, like Shirley, I don't have a poster, but I have a lot of black figurines, and I have a strong feeling about angels. And I don't know if Miss Regina see my angels or not, but I love them, and she knows why I'm saying it. I got them at a flea market.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stark. All right, so let me see who we have up next. We have Ms. Gilda. You're up next. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Ms. Gilda. Hold on 1 second. Did we do Ms. Joyce? Did we end up doing you?
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, there we go.
Hello.
Hello, Joyce.
Hi,
Hey, Joyce. Hey, Joyce.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to everybody. Everything you said is so meaningful, and it needed to be said. I would like to say that we must remember that our children's first teacher
at home.
is us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to hear us, and we have to teach them before they get to school.
Yeah.
And we need to teach them our history. We have to stop being ashamed of who we are and hiding our past. We have to let them know. I often, the way I used to talk to my children, I used to tell them about their history. I also used to play songs that they would have to listen and think. Songs like You're Young, Gifted, and Black.
Yeah.
We have to give them songs that give them feelings of self-worth.
Right.
And that has been taken away from our children. They heard it they used to hear it in the homes. They heard it in the schools. They saw their teachers more often in the community. They don't see those things anymore. So they are confused about who they are.
Yeah.
So we have to go back to the old way, take some of that and use some of the new way. But we have got to find a way to reach our children before they are grown. When my children were young, I have one son. He's my oldest. I would not allow anyone to buy my son a play gun.
Right.
He was not allowed to have play weapons because these are the things that boys, when they grow up, that's the first thing they want to buy. Not all of them. But if you don't put that in their heads, then maybe they won't go out and do it.
Right.
We have to also be honest about who we are.
Yeah.
We have to stop. We have to remember the days of segregation. I grew up in Virginia, so I know what segregation was. And it was rougher than in some places in DC.
Yes.
But I remember having to read books that were passed down to us from the schools where white children went to school. We had to take the books and everything for us to read. We had to read about Dick and Jane, Spot, Sally, all of that. But we did learn to read. We will buy technology for our children, but we won't go in a bookstore and buy books for our children. And we need to support Black authors. There are books out there that our children should be reading, but we don't buy them. So they don't see too much of us in the books.
Yeah.
So we have the schools are not going to do it. You have to do it.
Right.
But I want you to know, don't be discouraged. Continue to protest. Continue to stand up for your rights. And God bless you.
God bless you too, Joyce. God bless you.
God bless you. And that's true, Sister Joyce.
Yes.
That's good, Joyce. Good
Thank
job.
you, Miss Gilda. You're up next, but I cannot spotlight you because your video's not on, which is fine. But you can go ahead and share it. Miss Gilda. Miss Gilda, can you hear us?
May have walked away, maybe come back.
Miss Gilda?
I had to go to my food.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're up next. I'm not able to put the spotlight on you, but you can still just go ahead and share.
Hold on. I'm out of breath for me.
All right, yeah, take your turn.
I'm just going to show the poster. You know I don't like pictures.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, just when you're ready. I'll put the spotlight.
All right, let me know when y'all can see it.
Okay, you have to come back a little bit with the poster because we're not capturing the whole thing. You probably have to come back a little bit more if you can. No, go away from the camera.
Move back.
Right. And just come over to your left.
Okay.
Okay, right about a little bit to your left. There you go. Okay, so we can see Black Lives Matter. We see the flag. Black Lives Matter seniors.
Stepping up to lead the village.
Oh, stepping up to lead the village. Yes, good stuff.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's
Very
really
good.
Nice. Very nice.
You pay attention sometime in Chelsea's face.
Yeah, that's
really nice.
Definitely the seniors leading what we're doing today. The seniors are taking the lead of the village to express themselves. Did you want to share anything else?
No, I'm fine, thanks. I gotta catch my breath now.
Gotcha. All right.
Where's Florentine?
That's what I was wondering. Where's Florentine? Yeah.
He hasn't called me yet.
Oh, yeah, call Florentine.
Yeah, the block moved a little bit, but we're going to, we have a couple more people. Ms. Florentine, why don't you go ahead and go, and then I'll move down to the other end of this, the way it's set up on my screen.
Go ahead and do it now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This sign says danger.
Oh, Ms. Florentine, come over to your left a little bit more.
Okay. It says danger. Danger. Agitated seniors say Black Lives Matter. As we need everybody should have good health care, and good quality health care is mandatory for us seniors.
All right.
He said agitated seniors. Don't play.
I have a picture of a senior here who's pointing to the danger sign.
Danger. Okay.
I have another one.
Wait, hold on. Y'all take a look at Miss Florentine's outfit. Don't play.
Oh yeah, she got on her red and green.
Green.
Yeah. Black pants and the green and red.
And I also have one that says, time for change, time for solutions. This is what our young people are saying. Reform the police department. Equality for everybody.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hold it back a little bit.
Oh, come back a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Come back a little bit to your left.
Okay. Go back.
Isabella, stand on one foot now and then lean to your left.
Okay.
I also have another. It says, hello.
Wow.
Hello. Black lives matter. But us being humans, all lives have to matter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Going on. That's really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, being human, all lives do matter.
And I do want to stop for a moment, just thank Chelsea, our arts and craft instructor, because I know she helped help some of the members with the signs.
This is my last sign.
Okay.
Black lives matter. We matter, and it so happens that something bad had to happen for something good to happen. Because most of our young people are positive, and they're really working out for us. So God is good.
I like how you highlighted all the positive.
Thanks for the opportunity to share my feelings. God bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Florentine.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I say I like how you highlighted positive.
I like it.
Nice. Yes, that's very nice.
Florentine, we need cell phone pictures of your thing in book. Everybody's actually. Don't you think?
And at the end, like I said, I want to ask you to hold up your signs, and I'm gonna just I could probably just try and get a screenshot. It's kind of hard because it's kind of small, but we'll make it work. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Florentine. All right, let me go ahead and move over to, I think we have, I know Ms. Ethel, we have to catch you. So Ms. Ethel, I'm not able to spotlight you on the phone, but you can share. You can go ahead and feel free to share right now.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ethel.
So my poster, my daughter made it, and it says, we love you, and it says, my grandchildren matter.
Yes, I'm going to highlight. I forgot I have an email.
Okay, you got it? Okay.
I'll pull it up. Yep. You go ahead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull that up. Let me find it real quick. It really is in there. It's posted. Here we go. Okay. Give me 1 second, folks. And I wanted to make sure I pulled that up because I really enjoyed your poster. I need to find it on my email. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm gonna do like a share screen for this one. Be able to see it pretty good. Here we go. Can you see it okay?
Yes. Yes. I can see it. Yeah.
That's nice. Okay. You see it? Okay.
Yeah, you see it.
Okay. So my daughter made it, and you know, with all the protesting and everything that's going on, they have been on my mind, you know, because, you know, our grandkids, they're our future, our children and the grandchildren. So we've been talking about it a lot, and they were kind of excited whenever I said, you know, Pop and I, we're going to protest. And they were just like real excited, you know, Grammy's going to protest. And it was important to them. And I told them, I said, you have these a lot of the young kids, they're out there protesting, and it's important, you know. And I said, they are marching for change. And I said, and it's going to benefit you, and it's going to benefit your children. So my grandkids, I just wanted to let them know that they do matter. We tell them that all the time, that they're loved, they're important, they're smart, and they're going to do some good things. They're going to do a lot of good things in life, you know. Growing up down south, the only thing, I grew up in South Carolina, and our normacy was everything was characterized as colored and white.
Right.
We didn't know any difference. We thought it was normal because that's all we knew. And so I just want to let them know that it's more to life than that, you know, and they have to speak up, and it's a way to speak up, you know, speak. And then, and I told them, I said, the ones that's out there protesting for change, we have to keep them in prayer, you know, pray for them that, you know, God will give them wisdom and understanding. And so that's why my grandkids, they are very important to me, because you know, I love them and they're smart and you know, and they're beautiful. And I just want them to, you know, there's so much in store for them, good things.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought about that whenever, you know, Mr. Richard was saying, you know, do a poster. And they're the first things that came to my mind.
That's very nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Nice. And you know what?
Nice.
The point you made about sharing with them about what you're doing, that actually inspires them. I know just when I was growing up, I was always inspired by those stories of civil rights movement, like all the stuff that was happening. I was born in the 60s, so I kind of caught the tail end of, you know, as everything was happening and learning about it.
Right.
That really inspired me. That's the reason why I actually wanted to go to Howard, because I was trying to recapture that civil rights era, you know, that whole movement. And so you saying that to your kids is really inspiring. Yeah, they'll never forget that my grandma and grandpa stood up, you know, and spoke on things. And not that you haven't done stuff in the past like that, but, you know, just them hearing it now is important.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
I'm still looking at her poster. I like that.
It's beautiful. Yes. Very nice.
Let me see. Let me just make sure I covered all our members on here. Did Miss Naomi? Can you hear us? Did you want to share something? Because you're on mute right now.
I know.
Hey Naomi.
Hi. Okay, can you hear me? I thought I was unmuted.
Oh no, you're unmuted now.
Oh, okay. I just want to say I've enjoyed the everything that's been going on, and even though I couldn't see the posters, but I could hear when it was read. And I think this is something good that we all should be doing, even though we are seniors. I know my mother took part in the civil rights movement also by helping out with that in 1963. But I just want to say I just want us to do something for the youth, because as everybody was saying, the training start at home and then the schools and out before they get out into community. And I think a lot of parents have failed their children or grandchildren by not giving them the education that they receive, and they need that wisdom now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Ms. Rosie, did you want to share anything? I know you're in here, but I'm not sure if you hear us. Okay, let me get in and make sure that I catch everybody that's on here, except for the staff right now, that all the members have the opportunity to share. Okay, I think we've covered everybody member-wise. I did want to open it up to the staff if they want to share anything. Let's go ahead and start with Karen, you're right in front of me. Let's go ahead and do you. Did you want to share something?
Yeah. Hi, family. This is Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I miss you guys. I had looked forward to going out there.
Me too.
Can you see
this?
That's
nice, Karen.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. It's nice. That's really nice, Karen.
Good. You see the different color hands.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's nice.
As I was growing up, I always saw different color people.
Yeah, right. We all did.
My family, my father was blue-black, and my mother was fair, very fair, like a white woman, okay?
Right.
And as I was growing up, you know, in Southeast, you know, they would say things like, la, 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 and I would have to knuckle up, okay? That's not my mother. But the reason I'm saying that is because we have this underlying hatred amongst each other.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. So I was never taught to hate you by your color or what you had, or what you didn't have.
Right, exactly.
Or your man, or your land, or your car.
Right.
So as I was growing up, I was, look at that. So I didn't bring my grandkids up like that. So it's just an underlying hatred amongst our people, okay? And my family is so diverse. We have gay, Jamaicans.
We all do.
I mean, you know,
we all right. Yeah.
I understand that, but I understand what Miss Ingrid was talking about. Okay?
Oh yeah.
You know, sometimes when we go to the hospital, we look at the people that's taking care of our mothers and whoever else. Just because they speak a different language, we go there, you know.
Right.
So all nationalities and everybody, we just need to get along, turn around, give your neighbor a hand, whoever or whatever they are.
Absolutely.
And love your neighbor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Well
Love
said.
your neighbor.
Love your neighbor.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Good, Karen.
Good.
I love you guys. I miss y'all.
I
We
miss
miss
y'all
you too. We miss you too,
too.
Karen. We miss you too.
Hey, look, what you said was so good. My cursor disappeared. They won't even let me take your spotlight.
Mr. Reggie, you know,
Hey, I'm so serious.
We'll all be back together.
I can't get my cursor. Oh, here we go. My cursor literally disappeared. I couldn't take the spotlight off me. Right, thanks, Karen. So Regina,
that's good, Karen.
Regina, you still?
Yes, I'm still here.
My blocks are shifting.
Hey, everybody. Hey,
Hey,
Regina. Okay, so my thing is, I have my grandkids here, so of course, you know, when I made my poster, Black Lives Matter, I get their posters that day. Hey, sweet pea. Oh. Come on, hurry up, I got all day. So this is my Micah. Show me your face. This is Micah. That's
Hi, Michael.
Michael. Okay, he says he's 11. I'm sorry.
Black boys matter.
They're so cute.
Black lives matter. Black fathers matter. Black mothers matter. Black boys matter. Black girls matter. Black dogs matter. And black cats matter.
Everybody matters.
That's nice.
About your granddaughter.
All right, at the bottom it says all lives matter because we are all images of God, and we all should be treated the same way because that is what God
That's
wants
true.
from all of us.
That's so true, young
All
man.
right, sweet pea.
That's good.
Oh,
That's right.
adorable.
Hurry up. Okay, she's 6, and this is her poster.
Right.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Black cats matter, black dogs matter.
All
That's
right.
so cute. That's so sweet.
Very good. They're so precious, Karen.
Everything matters.
Yes, that's right. Don't forget the pets.
Black lives.
Regina, talk about
My concern for my children, my grandchildren, is the young man that you saw here, Micah. He got a lot of mouth. So we talk all the time about respect, trust for one another, and how to act when you encounter law enforcement.
Yeah.
Don't give no mouth back to them. So that is a big concern for me. Is him. My son, of course, some of you met Matthew. He's not super, and so I've never had any problems out of him. No problem with the police or anything. So I'm hoping and praying, not just for my children, but for, like I said, the next generation. Yeah. And I agree with everything everybody else said because that's so important. Even with Karen, I kind of fought a little bit because of the color of my skin.
Yeah.
You know, and at one point my hair was a little bit longer and fuller. Y'all know what happens when you get older. Everything But I agree with everything everybody said. You guys are so right. Some things I hadn't even thought of that y'all brought out. I love you guys. You know, y'all are the best village we can be a part of.
Yes.
Love you too.
You too.
Miss you.
Miss you.
We miss you.
We miss you.
I miss you, all of y'all. I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah.
Next year. Next year. We'll be in the center in October.
No,
next year. No, October.
Next year.
We'll see. One day at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick, just share about the picture behind you because I always find it interesting when you see that picture. And it's like,
I'm glad you black and white. Matthew, my son, did this.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Oh, that is so nice.
So somebody said that DC now is Swirl City, not Chocolate City, not White City.
Swirl City.
Swirl.
And if we would just act on that in love.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very in the style of Jacob Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
The Harlequin and Picasso, the Harlequin.
Okay.
Yes.
I want one.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna get and move over real quickly to Rudolph, because I know we still got the fitness going on. So I know Miss Gloria is on here as well. Miss Gloria, if you like, you can share as well while you're on here. We're you're familiar with us, kind of giving a platform for the members to share about what's going on in the world today with Black Lives Matter. Let me go ahead and pop it over to Rudolph real quick.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do a share screen, right quick. Let me see.
Now you all know Rudolph has a couple years younger than a lot of us, so there's a great perspective here.
We love Rudolph.
Hi, Rudolph.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Rudolph.
Okay. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cannot remain oppressed forever. The yearning for freedom eventually manifests itself. Yeah, that's true. That's Martin Luther King.
Right.
So,
So right, Rudolph.
I'm gonna reflect on this because we be born young. When you're born young and Black, you don't know that you're born, with labels on your head or stereotyping already. Whether your mother is Panamanian or not Black. My mother, she's Panamanian. She got her green card in her late 40s. So so she just whether you Black or and it happens to all races too, but a lot of Blacks or other, if you're not white, you grew up in the neighborhood. You already expect not to be anything. They don't, try to take us out before you learn that your history, we don't learn it in the schools. They don't teach it about our origins, our history, the struggle, turning people against each other. Once you learn your history and, you grow and you want to help others, it changed your lifestyle, how you lived in the past. So, I say as Black folks, the unity and keep it going, get things, keep on gaining, break records, live on so you can grow.
Oh, we started losing you a little bit.
And educate the others.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
So the main focus was to, live on and grow, and educate others, help out others.
Yes.
So we could all be free, and want to, help out others as Black folks and look at the, and approach it the right way, instead of violence. And that's it, guys.
Thank you, sir. I like that.
Thank you, Rudolph. Thanks, Rudolph.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rudolph.
Thank you very much.
And take this off the screen.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. You definitely can't keep oppressed people down. Eventually, something's gonna give. So, thank you. And you're right. That whole journey from being a young person of color to realizing and things and having positive things manifest in your life, that's a serious journey. And the key is surviving that whole initial stage. Because I have to say, it just seems to me like from birth to 20s is like a dangerous time, matter of making it through. So I always congratulate people I know when they, 21, I know it's not like the main age, but I know 21 for some reason was like a magical age for me. My son just turned 21. And I was just so proud that he, I hate to say it, but I was probably made it to 21. And you shouldn't have to think like that.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
That's right. I was just so happy for him, and I tried to explain to him why it meant so much to me for him to make it through all the stuff that was.
But that's because you were a good father to him, and you told him things all his life. We need parents to talk to their kids and tell them things.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
I included in the chat the brochure on 411 that the NAACP has, but it's a shame other people in this country, white people, they don't have that same. They don't have to have the talk. They don't have to celebrate their child reaching to 21, and that's why Black Lives Matter.
And you know what, Ms. Yvonne, is interesting because like I kind of had this conversation multiple times with people that, you know, when you spend your whole life just trying to survive something or make it through and understand things about yourself and have to research and really figure out all this stuff, it takes away from all that energy and resource that could have been going towards you making a place for yourself in the world. You know, so that's like the disparity. We spent so much time of our earlier years working through all this serious dysfunction and oppression and suppression and everything else that, you know, it's like you're always behind the 8 ball. It started late. That's why
I don't like to say dysfunction. People just have to adapt to the way that life is. And so some of our adaptations don't look very, they look dysfunctional, but it has to do with the way people adapt to deal with what they have to deal with.
Well, that ain't easy.
Yeah, I got you. I just say this.
You don't have to. Some people, when your child doesn't come in, it's 9 o'clock at night. What goes through our mind and goes through somebody else's mind is different.
Right.
You know, and the children don't understand it. Why are you worried? It's only 9:30. You know, but you know that you could get that little knock on the door that says,
"Oh, I know.
Right.
I don't want to hear that."
I'm sorry to tell you.
But you have to take charge of your children. You can't let your children take charge of you.
Exactly.
All right now.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying is that we have to, all the time, that's in our mind. We don't have the luxury of saying, oh, they're a few minutes late. I jumped to what all that could have happened.
Yeah, well, that's a natural condition because there's so much going on you got to worry about. Yeah, you're going to, I mean, I go through mine too. So yeah, you're always going to, unfortunately, you kind of go to the negative.
And it's no fault of the child. The child can be doing the right thing and still they can be stopped and be unfairly treated.
That's right.
Excuse me.
Ms. Ingrid,
y'all, this conversation this morning has brought a sadness over me. Because I do remember being treated with any kind of racism from the white people. I work with Jews. I work with white people when I came to this country. Yet this, maybe the days I didn't notice, but I've seen it with the blacks so much. And you all talk so much this morning about white lives matter, black lives matter, that it brought a sadness over me, like a cloud. That's not how I get it. I don't receive that. I receive better treatment from the white people than the black people. So if I open my mouth and I hear an accent, it's a wrap.
Well,
so it's kind of sad now that I'm hearing all this now, which is, I don't know how, I'm not into words, it's just a sadness. That's how I'm feeling now.
You validated my thoughts on this because I always thought that black people from other countries, Africa, Jamaica, wherever, they are not singled out like the American black men and women are.
Right.
They're not singled out. They're not singled out by the whites. We are singled out by the blacks.
Absolutely.
And that hurts. That hurts.
Yes.
It's every day. It's in your face. I come to the center. It's in my face. I walk the street. I ride the bus. It's in my face.
Well, you know,
it's there.
Well, Ms. Ingrid, I will say in all fairness, I think it's like it's a little bit of catch-22 because
you're not used to that.
On one hand, non-black Americans get treated better a lot of times than black Americans.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other hand also is that sometimes when people, and I say again, me looking at it from both angles, sometimes when people come from other countries, sometimes there's also like a slight disdain and disrespect for black Americans because they're trying to figure out with all this opportunity, why haven't you been able to pick yourself up and do something with yourself?
Why have you been as successful as you have?
Right, because that's real. I've heard that.
True. If we are successful, it's a problem too because they think we take over the hospitals.
Right.
Any hospital you go to, you all there working because we went in school. We went to school.
Yeah,
we didn't
but
sit
it's just,
around
I'm
and
just
wait.
saying, I think
We didn't wait for welfare. We didn't wait. We did what we had to do.
I don't know anything about
but it's a like I said, it's a catch-22 because at the same time as not waiting for something, you also have an opportunity that a door may have been opened differently for you than a Black American, and that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes there's a little subliminal or inconspicuous little positive side to not being, I don't say positive, but there's a little advantage sometimes.
Right. It's a difference. It's definitely a difference.
Black American. It's a different way people perceive people from other countries who are Black, even though you still you still have racism, and I know you still experience things. I think that's where you got that little.
It's just a part of them trying to separate us.
Yes, that's what it is.
That's
what it is.
Yeah.
I worked at Safeway, and they used to make it a point of coming to harass me. Every these Southeast people. So I had to make an outburst. I didn't get fired.
You should have called Karen. I would have came and helped you.
But anyway, we're talking about.
Call me next time.
You make a valid point.
People misunderstand when you say, some people think that if you don't call the person by the N-word, then you're not a racist. It's the same.
No, they don't have to say it. They don't have to say it.
No, what I'm saying is that there's a different level of racism. There's a different level of racism that we're talking about. It's just like I say every day, you can get up, put your clothes on, go to work and buy a house. But other people say to me, Miss Smith, you don't understand. They don't even give me the same package to apply for the loan. You know, those are the things that are there. Those are the systemic things. The messages that people get every day growing up, they don't even think about it. They're so self-hatred. They don't even think about purchasing. They're thinking about all the time being a renter. Wherein you grew up, and other people from other countries, they grew up and they always knew that they could be the president of their country. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
I grew up in this country. I lived a block down from a doctor. I always knew that Black people had tennis courts and those things like that. There's a different kind of racism that's there. That's what I talk about every day, that you're bombarded with the messages and stuff, that you are less than. They don't have to use the words. They just, it's so systemic that a lot of times you don't even see it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, when it comes to people from other countries, and I say some of the islands, there's still that same problem within the islands of people who are unfortunate. Because see, the people that come away are more fortunate than people in the islands that don't get off the island. And I noticed that even in my family, like there's a stuck mentality of Black folks in the islands also, from where they're at, that don't have.
I never saw that at home. We were with the Blacks, the Whites, the Indians, the Syrians.
I'm speaking.
You gotta have enough money to get on the plane.
Hear what I'm saying, Ms. Ingrid. Hear what I'm saying. Even in Trinidad, you got people who don't get off the island or stuck in the craziness and the crime and street stuff that goes on in Trinidad. Just like every other island.
They're the cream of the crop. We're getting the cream of the crop because even if you go to another country, I've been to several countries, you have to have a plane ticket, it costs. So they've selected, it's natural selection, they have been selected. So we're getting the cream of the crop.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, I know that Trinidad is more diverse and stuff, and there's a lot of things going on. So I didn't grow up there, so I can't speak. But I'm just saying, like, the mentality that people have when they don't have and they're stuck somewhere.
Right.
That's universal. And so I think that the people that
get generations
underlying hatred.
It's for generations and generations. We got people that have never seen anybody get up and go to work.
And you know what? It's the same, like when we say here, like this, the whole thing about broadening your horizons is that so that you can move beyond your condition and you can see something beyond your condition, because you know there's other stuff out there, there's other opportunities, that people live different lives. That's the whole thing about broadening horizons. I mean, I know people.
That's why it would be helpful to have intergenerational things, to have this conversation. I wonder how different it would be if we had young people in the conversation and what their view of it. Just like I may
That is why I want the children to come to the senior center. That's why I keep bugging you all to let children come to the center.
Yeah, and we'll table that for another conversation, because I know we talk about that and we're still working on stuff. But just know, even with one person, Rudolph and myself actually represent two people in a different, so to speak, generation.
Yeah.
So even in that sense, you get to hear some things differently, because Rudolph made a good point. Like you heard, basically, if you read through what Rudolph was saying, like he grew up with people telling him he ain't gonna be nothing. You know, so he's beyond that. So, you know, anyway,
Mr. Ritchie, can I say something?
Yes.
We getting ready to deal with another issue. So the kids matter too. Right now, because they cannot figure out about the school system, it is our responsibility as a village, mother and father and grandparents, that we need to start the schooling, homeschooling at school, at home, whatever they're gonna give the children, 2 days a week or whatever. Let's start at home to get them reading, sight words, homework, whatever. Let's get them ready, because we don't know what society is going to offer them. Right. But whatever it is, it'll start at home. Start it at home.
And Miss Karen,
that's right, Karen.
I started doing that myself with my grandkids. I am their reading comprehension teacher.
Me
and
too.
They have to read books, and then they report back to me, and they give me 20-minute reports, and they got to give me a new word that they have found out, and we have to put that word into everyday vocabulary. So yes, you're right. We have to do that.
We have to right now. Right now.
Everybody that's listening to this, and we know, I mean, other people are gonna be listening to this eventually. You hear the seniors speaking, you hear the village rising up.
Yeah. We are agitated, quarantine seniors.
Put it out there, because they got till August 15th is a deadline for homeschooling. Homeschooling is not just us getting involved as tutors. The parents want their children to stay at home. There's some paperwork they have to fill out. You have to do it online. You have to have
I'm saying grandmothers, please help the younger mothers and fathers, because they are stressed out because kids have been there all day long. They're trying to work on Zoom. When my grandkids come on there, they know it's knuckle up time. We're gonna read, we're gonna sight words, colors, how you speak, how you gonna act in the street, you know, make sure, you know, talk to them about people fondling your kids, how you gonna deal with the police, how you gonna deal with bullying.
It's gonna be long.
They know when they come in, it's a different environment.
So we need more coursework on how to use Zoom, life size, and these other things, because we're gonna be talking to these children, not in person, but long distance, because this is a fact of life. So we're going to have to do more than just social media. We have to learn how to use these other products, and people that are reluctant. We got people that could be here, but
they cannot be here. Like
they're reluctant, but this is the world. It's going to be like this. Even when COVID is over with, there's going to be a certain amount where we're going to have to use these tools.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. Yeah, I agree. Real quick, let me jump in, because I know, again, Ms. Gloria is our Tai Chi instructor, and she's been very kind to sit and wait. I wanted to ask you if you wanted to share something also before we wrap up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I've listened to the conversation, and a lot of things that have been said is true. Something my mom shared with me years ago. She's been deceased almost 40 years. She said the worst war we can have is a race riot. We're on the heels. We are on the heels of having a race riot.
Yes, we are.
With me, I was a product of the civil rights movement.
Very good.
I grew up in the cradle of it. I have discussions with my children and grandchildren, and they say, Mom, we can't do what we did with the non-violent. I said, you don't cast your history away. You learn from what has taken place. And not only that, your exposure makes all the difference in the world.
Amen.
And because of our exposure, a lot of people have not been exposed. Homeschool in this house, schooling started in the home.
Yeah.
But we have to teach. We have to teach those that in the school, homeschooling, how do you do this? You gotta bring self-defense in it, recreation. At a place now, we can teach the Bible.
Yeah.
In the home, you can teach the Bible.
Yes.
That's so far away from who our Creator is.
That's right. That's right.
And we're looking to flesh and blood to give us answers. That's not the answer. We got to look to the Creator and allow Him to guide us, but we got to go to Him.
Yeah, exactly.
So many of us have gotten to the place you're looking at the media. They're feeding the stuff into you, into your spirit. We have to be mindful of what we allow to be fed into our spirit.
Exactly.
That is so true.
Amen.
I know I sound like I'm preaching because I know.
No, that's okay. You are that's all right. That's good. You are
it's
on
the truth,
Gloria.
It's the truth.
It's a natural thing for us to gravitate what we can see, touch, taste, hear, smell, and feel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any of those things are on other lines. God has given us, Holy Spirit has given us this time right now.
Yes.
For us to be able to rest. Not only rest physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, scenery, creatively. We have to rest.
Yes.
What I'm finding, the churches, a lot of them are still trying to do the same thing online, on the conference calls and Zooms as they were doing when they were behind the wall. That's not working anymore. So we have to come back to a place and ask our Creator, what would you have us to do?
Right.
We're only doing what we know to do. Our exposure makes all the difference in the world. And like with me teaching on Zoom, this is new platform for me. But I know there are people who are benefiting from it because the person who taught me invested their time and effort in me. I had to take my time out and accept the fact it's time for me to show others what I have learned, what was invested in me. We as parents and grandparents, we have to have our children and others to listen. There's an approach. We come up with the Black Lives Matter, but what has happened? Where do we go from here?
Exactly.
Where do we go from here? What do we want? What is it that we're looking to for to happen? It's not going to happen on our own. We have to go back. We have to go back a few steps and figure out how are we going to get this to work, or is it going to work? We talked about the COVID-19. I'm going to be straight up with you. It's a spirit.
There you go.
We got to attack that spirit. And they're trying to find Fauci, Brex, all of them trying to come up with an answer. You're not going to get an answer to a spirit, things you cannot see that are in the atmosphere. Watch your animals, watch your plants.
Yes.
Believe it or not, when this virus first came in, I lived near some trees. And because I lived near some trees, the deer would always come. And the whole time that virus was up, the deer did not come. They had sense enough to know, hey,
oh
look,
my gosh. Oh, wow.
That's
something.
Right.
That's the same thing. That's
true. Gosh. Yes.
Wow. In the process, they sent out a deer one day. He was a scout. Look, and here I'm talking to him. I said, they sent you out as a scout. I didn't see him anymore for a month. We also can see some vultures on the power line. They were nowhere to be seen.
Absolutely.
Yes. They are coming back now.
That's true.
Now. We had birds that would come on our deck looking for food. We fed them. But now things are kind of calm. They don't come as often. We had the cardinal, we had the male and the female, and what I really saw, the father was showing the baby how to get his food.
Oh, that's cute.
A lot of the fathers are missing.
Yeah.
Fathers
Oh,
are missing. When I saw the cardinal, the red cardinal, he had the little gray cardinal.
Yeah.
His father around. His father was showing what had to be done. The blue jays were here. The doves were here. The birds came in to be fed. I didn't see any rabbits, squirrel, or nothing. They had more sense than we do.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
There was something there. Watch our animals, watch our plants. There's a message in what's going on in the atmosphere.
Yeah,
there's a message. Watch your animals, your plants. Watch them. We have to pull ourselves away from a lot of what the media is feeding us. They don't know more than what we know.
Right, exactly. This is new.
They're putting on a performance now to get up, to get their numbers up. But believe it or not, we have to come to a place. Shut our mouths. Put a latch up our mouth and do more listening.
Yeah.
Do more listening.
Yeah, I agree.
Do more listening.
I agree too.
He is speaking. He is speaking. He is
speaking.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Lord, yes, he is. I agree with
We have to
that.
be in a place so we can be able to hear. Hear the right voice. Not our own voice. That my mind is not for us anymore.
No, it's not.
So we have to come to a place. Look at all the things that are taking place. All the things that are going on around us. How do we approach this? There's a lot of evil that's been going on. Our word, but it says, set a watch over my mouth and keep the door on my lips.
Right.
And whatever we spew out, it's going to boomerang back to us. So we have to be in a place. Analyze our plan, know what our plan is, work toward it. We have to stop and see where do we go from here. We can't go out and rush. Black lives matter, but we're still killing each other.
You are.
Yeah, we had touched on that. We had touched on that earlier about that piece, and I think I think this is the important part, that there's different perspectives and approaches to how we need to move forward. But at the end of the day, the whole what needs to be accomplished is the same. And I think what we were talking about before is that we have the young people running with the mantle because they see things, experiencing things a little bit differently, and they're running with it the best way that they see how. And it's interesting because even back in the day, just as there was a non-violent, there was the violent, there was a not so anti-violent movement going on, because one couldn't operate without the other. I submit that both of them work hand in hand to make change happen. And so it's the same concept even now, that both are working hand in hand. And where you belong on that line is where you belong. Like you may be on this side of it, you may be on that side of the approach, and they all need to work together to get to that, to accomplish the same goal. So and with that said, I wanted to go ahead and just kind of say some of the names of the people that are listed, because I know we got to wrap it up. Thank you, Ms. Gloria. No, I thank you because the perspective you gave, like I can't speak on certain things, but I appreciate the perspective you gave also, because I experienced a whole rack of animals in my backyard. I had the same experiences you're talking about. We had like all of a sudden like a whole onslaught of birds visit one time, and then they just disappeared. Like there's a lot of strange things that happened before this happened. So I agree with you, and I had deer in my backyard also. I know what you're talking about. But let me go ahead and I want to read off some of these names. And again, this is not even a comprehensive list, but someone had put together a list of names going back to actually it's really the 2000s. But when you get to like the 80s, they put a couple names in from the 90s, the 80s, and 60s. But it's definitely not a comprehensive list, because we know a lot of people have been killed, lives destroyed from the crazy events. But I want to just say some of these names, and you'll recognize some of them. So it actually starts off in 64, and again, we know this goes before that. But they put James Powell in New York, a gentleman named Fred Hampton in 69, in Chicago, Mark Clark in Chicago in 69, Eula Love in 79. These are people that suffered from brutality and just some type of racism that caused their death. Ron Settles in California in 81, Michael Stewart. I'm going to say the names: Eleanor Bumpers, Edmund Perry, Melise Green, Nicholas Haywood Jr., Amadou Diallo in New York. Remember that one? Ronald Beasley, Prince Jones, Patrick Dorismond, Malcolm Ferguson, Earl Murray, Timothy Thomas, Michael Ellaby, Ousmane Zongo, Orlando Barlow, Alberta Spruill, Timothy Stansbury, Donald Madison, James Brissett, Henry Glover, Sean Bell, Deonta Terrell Farrell, Rita Wilson, Victor Steen, Shem Walker, Oscar Grant, Kawane Carrington, Stephen Eugene Washington, Derek Jones, Danroy Henry, Ayanna Jones, Aaron Campbell, Anthony Lamar Smith, Reginald Doucette, Raheem Brown, Kenneth Harding, Kenneth Chamberlain, Jamel Cannon, Alonzo Ashley, Wendell Allen, Iman Robinson, Sharice Francis, Charmel Edwards, Chantel Davis, Sergeant Manuel Loggins Jr., Robert Dumas Jr., Ronaldo Cuevas, Rakia Boyd, Raymond Allen, Marley Graham, Nehemiah Dillard, Melissa Williams and Timothy Russell, Kendrick McDade, Justin Slip, Johnny Kamahi Warren, Jersey Green, Irvin Jefferson, Wayne Brown, Dante Price, Travis Carter, Tyrone West, Miriam Carey, Larry Eugene Jackson Jr., Kayam Livingston, Amani Gray, Jonathan Farrell, Dion Flood, Carlos Alcis, Barrington Williams, Ryan Stokes, Linwood Lambert, Jordan Baker, Denitri Hamilton, Yvette Smith, Eric Garner, John Crawford III, Tyree Woodson, Michael Brown, Ezell Ford, Dante Parker, Victor White III, Tamir Rice, Akai Gurley, Anthony Hill, Tony Robinson, Walter Scott, Freddie Gray, Icarus Randolph, Sandra Bland, Sam Dubose, Christian Taylor, India K, Mark Clark, Terrence Crutcher, Alfred Alongo, Jordan Edwards, Patrick Harmon, Stephen Clark, Shahid Vassell, Antoine Rose, Botham Jean, Tatiana Jefferson, Rihanna Taylor, Elijah McClain, and George Floyd. And we know this is not a comprehensive list. I just said all those names.
I feel real bad because I only recognize 10 names.
Right. Well, right. And we know that we don't know of a lot of people because we never found out about it for whatever reason. But it's just amazing that that's a long list right there, and that's definitely nowhere near a comprehensive list. Unfortunately,
that's why we gotta change the police policies.
Yes. I mean, it does. You're right. I mean, everything has to be in writing because we're trained a certain way. They're gonna operate a certain way. If the culture's a certain way, so I just want to thank everyone for coming together. I thank COG for sponsoring this and for all the members coming on to share about feelings and perspectives about the systemic racism, just everything that's been happening. I mean, we didn't cover everything nearly. I mean, this is definitely not enough time to cover everything. But I think that you're sharing how you feel is going to go a long way for other people to hear that and to just hear the different perspectives and know that, seniors' voices matter in this whole scenario, and you all want to, have an impact on the village and kind of, I hate to say, but get back in the place that you should be in terms of having that impact and leading the village. And I hope that younger people will hear this and realize that it may seem like a disconnect, but there's nothing new under the sun, unfortunately, in this circumstance, and that there's a lot of wisdom that you can get from seniors to help move forward in this whole struggle and fight. So I thank everybody for joining us, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up because we still, like we talked about, health matters, fitness matters, and Ms. Gloria is gonna come with some Tai Chi instruction which can help keep you healthy, can help in the overall quest for taking care of yourself and living a good life. So, but thank you all for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn and Miss Teresa didn't join us, but I thank her because I know she was really adamant about doing different things. Just thank everybody for doing everyone doing their part. And I do want to get a quick picture of the posters. So if you don't mind, if you have a poster, we can hold it up so I can at least try and get a good picture. Now, I will say I didn't get the pictures like I want to be able to post on Instagram, but we have a video, so that's helpful. So let me go ahead and do that. If you wouldn't mind, hold up your poster. Is everyone ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some posters missing. Okay, we're going to go with what we have. Miss Magdalene, did you speak? Oh, you're on mute. Did Miss Magdalene speak?
No.
Miss Magdalene. Magdalene, you didn't speak. Did you?
I don't know what.
Oh, you're on mute.
She's still on. Yeah, she's still on mute.
You're on mute, Miss. Oh, there you go. Did you want to share something? Because I was asking if everyone spoke.
Okay, I was listening.
Okay, because your connection was distorted. But did you have?
No, I didn't do her stuff.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and take.
I can't even check.
Let me put that back on mute. I think that's where the distortion is. Okay. All right, you ready, folks?
Yeah.
Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. Ms. Foster, you was moving your poster. And I tell you what, I'm gonna end the recording, but I'm gonna get and take a picture of each person for 2 quick seconds. I'm gonna just take a quick picture so we can post it. Or actually, is everyone on the social media? Because you can post it yourselves. That actually
I'm not.
I'm not.
No.
Okay, I'll capture pictures of those who aren't, and then we'll take a picture. All right, well, let me go ahead and stop this. Again, thank you all. This is Congress Heights Senior Wellness Center's outreach group signing off.